Hi everyone. I am really happy to be here, and I feel really honored to be invited as a speaker. And let's begin. So today I'm going to talk about inclusivity in the visualization, design, and research, and particularly I'm focusing on the reading direction and scripts that are read and written from right to left. So during my PhD, I'm actually doing something different. So for my PhD, I'm investigating a particular design strategy that designers often use, such as using icons and pictograms to convey the visualization method. And my interest into the reading direction actually stemmed from the aim of my PhD project, which is to make visualizations approachable and attractable for the general public. However, I realized after 4 years investigating these aspects that I am actually excluding my own community. And I started researching for visualizations in Arabic as it's my native language. I wanted also to have the vocabulary to be able to explain my research to my Arab fellows. But I found something else that was really interesting on my journey. I realized that there is an opportunity researching script directionality impact on visualizations. We have over 280 million people who use Arabic scripts, more than 77 million who use Persian scripts, and 231 million who use Urdu scripts. What is common between these scripts is the reading direction. These scripts are read and written from right to left. Arabic, Persian, and Urdu are not the only scripts that are read and written from right to left. Kashmiri, Kurdish, and Hebrew are all scripts read and written from right to left. There are over 2 billion users of right to left scripts. So, are these communities that use right to left scripts being represented in our research? A 2009 analysis of the CHI proceeding, which is the most prestigious conference in human computer interaction, revealed that 80% of the publications came from a handful of countries that all use left to right scripts. Similarly, an analysis of the VIS conference, another major conference in the VIS visualization community, revealed that in 2019, most user studies came from North America, where left to right scripts are used. But why does it matter? Can't we just translate everything? Reading directionality is a mindset. It's an expectation instilled from an early visual experience. I found this interesting work about directional tendencies by Fergat and Dahman, where they compared two groups of children, French, who used left to right, and Tunisian, who used right to left scripts. The children were given circles with dotted lines and were instructed to draw circles with solid lines. They found that Tunisian children more often drew the 5 and 11 o'clock circles clockwise. In contrast, French children more often drew them counterclockwise. They also asked the children to fill circles with dots in 30 seconds. They found that French children filled more dots from left to right, while Tunisian children filled more from right to left. Although these tasks are simple and intuitive, they demonstrate that exposure dictates what to expect and how our perception changes based on the direction. It also works as a reminder of the importance of localization. It is essential to display designs that speak to the audience, what they are used to, and what aligns with their mental models. This also contributes to increasing the trust and credibility of the visualization. Now let's move to how visualizations are designed for right to left readers in practice. So over the past few months, I have meticulously curated visualizations tailored for Arabic content from 4 reputable news outlets, Al Jazeera, Al Arabiya, BBC Arabic, and CNN Arabic. From this collection, I handpicked 37 bar and line charts because the direction matter in these visualization types. Each visualization was coded taking into account the orientation of the x-axis and also the position of the y-axis. The analysis revealed that a significant majority, 84% to be precise, of the visualizations commenced with the x-axis from left to right. Conversely, a mere 14% began with the x-axis on the right, with the y-axis correspondingly positioned on the right as well. Here is a sample visualizations found on the BBC Arabic website. As is apparent, some of these charts have their y-axis on the right. Some of them have it on the left. Moreover, the x-axis sometimes starts from the left, and other times it starts on the right. For instance, if we look at the visualization with the multiples, it starts with September and ends with January. Here is another example from Al Jazeera website so that I'm not biased. I collected these visualizations from the same article where some visualizations had the y-axis on the left, other times they had it on the right. There is clearly an alignment issue. A reader must constantly shift their reading direction between reading the title, reading the content, reading the visualization, and also the numbers, because the numbers are written from left to right. Here are also another examples from CNN Arabic. Sometimes they have the Y axis positioned on the right. Other times they have it on the left. During my research, another colleague brought to my attention an intriguing case from the Intifada website, which is an independent media outlet based in Tunisia. The website presents its content in Arabic, French, and English, and they customize the visualizations according to the chosen language. For instance, in the English version, all of the text, all of the web interfaces, even the visualizations are aligned to the left. Conversely, in the Arabic version, they positioned to the right. The inconsistency of visualization design for right to left users found in the media shows that there are no clear guidelines. As this post demonstrates, someone asking whether charts need to be reversed for right to left users, while mirroring might be a solution, it needs to be done with caution. In May 2022, I was really pleased with the announcement that Data Wrapper announced a new feature to support designing right-to-left visualizations, where you can set the visualization's orientation to right to left based on your language. This includes flipping customizable design elements such as the annotations and legends, as well as basic visualization designs that are normally fixed, like the direction of the bars in a bar chart and also the x-axis for a line chart. So you don't have a reason not to be supporting right-to-left users if there are tools that actually makes it really easy with just changing one of the features. So what can we do? The first point is to maintain consistency, especially if you're designing visualizations to be embedded in an article. And also utilize the existing tools that support right-to-left visualizations. We could also start to explicitly state the directionality on which a design guideline was based. This would emphasize that left to right is not the default and should not be generalized. We could also run our empirical investigations with two samples varying in direction tendencies to demonstrate a more universal knowledge. Finally, I would recommend getting inspired by the W3C web design guidelines, where the web community collaborated in creating detailed documents that handle interfaces and how they should be mirrored based on the direction. I hope that my talk would inspire some of you to advocate for a better representation of potential visualization users and better visualization designs for right to left users. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Muna. Really interesting talk. Um, I actually saw a similar talk you gave at Information Plus in
Yes.
November. And we actually thought it was so fascinating that we really wanted to invite you to Unwrapped. But my question for you is, aside from Data Wrapper, which I appreciate the call out, of course, are there any other tools that you know of for easily creating right to left oriented charts?
Hmm. Actually, when I was looking for tools, I only found Data Wrapper to be supporting right to left visualizations. I mean, it's possible, of course, um, that you can use other tools like Microsoft Excel, Tableau, but it's not very easy to apply the changes, and you need to be very familiar with the language to be able to do it. But I think what is Data Wrapper is providing is that even if you don't speak the language, if you're not familiar with the language, then this is done for you. So the research is done for you. All of the design aspect is done for you. It's just a matter of click, which is very convenient, and it makes it very accessible to do that. So no, I was not able, unfortunately, to find any tools. You
Wow.
win. That's the rapper win.
That wasn't a loaded question. Um, let's see. I like to. Oh, we've got some questions in the comments actually, so I'll read some of those out. Let's see. Nisha asks, "Thanks for your insights and ideas. I'm curious what similar blind spots you've noticed with regards to accessibility in data viz."
Mm, yeah. Um, I I think also maybe in terms of literacy, I think there is this expectation that everyone knows how to read a visualization. And so you generalize this assumption. And I think we need more guidance in reading the visualizations, particularly because I did my PhD. I did a project where I was collecting a lot of visualizations from the news, like English content. So I used BBC, Daily Mail, Telegraph. I was able to collect a lot of visualizations, but then when I'm doing this project with Arabic content, I was not able to really see that the same number of visualizations. So, firstly, I think data visualizations are now very common. Partially, I think, is because of data literacy as well.
Cool. Let's see. We've got another question here from John. Says, "Great talk. Have you done any thinking about vertical languages?"
No, I always get this question. I wish that I did, but at the moment, I'm wrapping up my PhD, so I don't really have time to look at this. But I would like to, but I don't want to. So I feel like I can say stuff because about the Arabic, about right to left, because I speak Arabic and I write in Arabic, but I feel like I need someone else who's an expert in vertical languages to be able to not be ignorant in my research and bring their perspective as well. So yes, I would love to do that in the future.
Yeah, a whole new angle for it. Um, I have a quick question of my own. As a web developer, I've noticed that there have been new properties added to kind of CSS and things over the years to better support for, right to left kind of directions. Um, do you get the sense that it is improving in the world of software in general and software developers?
Yes, definitely. Yes, definitely. And that's why I feel like, why are we not doing the same for data visualizations? Everything is now shifted for people who use Arabic scripts. You get to see your navigation on the right side. Even the rating, when you get to rate something, the stars start from the right, so everything is flipped. And I that made me wonder why we're not seeing the same thing with visualizations. I think it's also a burden on researchers because these communities have not been used as samples, have not been represented in research. So although the population is huge, so your target audience is really large. So it's definitely improving, and I'm happy to see that, and I wish that we can do the same for visualization.
Room to grow, perhaps. I have
Yes,
another question from a viewer. Noel asks, visualization literacy, so very linked to language literacy and other forms of literacy. Do you think the Arabic language has enough linguistic tools to speak or think data visualization?
yeah. Thank you, Noel. Um, so I think that we do lack that. I think we do have the vocabulary, but I am ashamed to say that I don't really know it. I think that we do need like a dictionary or a taxonomy to help these languages, to help people who design those visualizations, how they teach those visualizations, and how to talk about them. So I think that we definitely need to improve that and make it more accessible for everyone to know how to explain those visualizations. Yeah. I don't know if there is one, but I hope to be able to see that, because in the Viz community we do have taxonomies that helps people to understand the visualization, to describe it, and to teach it as well. Yeah, I'd be happy to work on a project where we could do like have a dictionary for every language in describing the visualization.
Sounds like a big project to me. Uh, let's see. I have a question from Alana from Data Wrapper. Says thank you for the talk. Do you think inverting everything that goes from left to right can be considered as a generally good rule of thumb, or do you know of exceptions?
Okay, I hate to say this, but I can't really make any claims because I did not do like empirical investigations. I don't know if it frustrates people or not, or does it improve? I don't know. Their reading, um, they find information more quick. But at my expectation, I think I would hypothesize that it is. It is expected to invert everything. And I think that if it was not a necessity, then we would not have seen the feature added in data wrapper. And maybe one of the reasons that we're not seeing a lot of visualizations in these outlets is that maybe people are not spending time on them. And it could be that maybe because of the direction, people feel frustrated to just keep shifting between right to left, reading one article. So I think, yes, it might be increasing their receptivity to the visualization. But I think a rule of thumb for the timeline is always to start from right to left, because I don't think that we can negotiate about that. Yeah.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Muna. Really appreciate you being here.